Hey y'all, today's video is all about my daughter's first birthday party. I made a lot of the decor myself just to save money, and I've also enjoyed DIY for years. I love Pinterest, so I got a bunch of ideas off of that, and so I'm going to take you along with me. I bought these popcorn buckets from Dollar Tree, and I also bought the paint from Dollar Tree. It's not as fast as spray painting, but it was a lot cheaper just to get the paint and paint it on myself. And I did have to do a few coats for each popcorn tin. I'm doing a pastel carnival theme. It did make it a lot harder to find the right colors for different things, so I did have to DIY a lot. But I feel like it was worth it. I wanted it to be pastel colors for her first birthday. Here, my husband was doing a clear coat just so hopefully the paint wouldn't scrape off so easy, since I just used a Dollar Tree paint. And then I also bought these 3 large containers. They were actually from a thrift store for $1, so it was cheaper than Dollar Tree. And I painted them and used a clear coat on them as well. You can still see through them, but I had run out of this spray paint and I didn't want to buy more. I kind of liked that look anyways. So here I'm working on a DIY yard Jenga, and my husband made me a jig, so I didn't have to measure all 52 pieces. That was great. I was able to just push them up to that, and it was able to cut out the sizes that I needed. And so I was really thankful for that. I wanted to have some yard games for the party because since it was a carnival theme, I thought it would be cute to have different outdoor games. So I did have several. I either bought at Five Below, and so they were only $5. I think one of them was $3. I bought a couple online, and then I DIY'd some of them. Here, my son, he was begging me to video him. He wanted me to show y'all how he rides down the hill in his little metal dump truck. He kind of has to use his feet the entire time, but if it keeps him happy, then I'm happy. I didn't want the pieces to be rough on the ends like this piece is, so I did sand the pieces down. My husband had nicely sanded these down, and then he had to go inside, so I did wind up finishing sanding the rest. It did take a while, and near the end, some of the boards I had cut were kind of rough. I'm not sure why. I'm sure my husband could have told me what I was doing wrong if he'd been out there, but like I said, he had to go in. So I did finish it all by myself, and then I did stack it because I wanted to try it out. I felt like we needed to make sure that it worked. And so we played a quick game of Jenga. My husband won, as you will see in the end. I wanted some animals for the decorations. I wanted them to be gold, but I bought these from Dollar Tree, and I had some leftover spray paint from another project, so my husband spray painted these for me, and they looked really cheap when they weren't painted. Their colors were kind of weird, but after they got painted, they were so pretty. They looked just as good as the ones I had seen online that were a lot more expensive than just grabbing them from Dollar Tree. So I was super excited about how these turned out. Now, like I said, I did already have the can of spray paint, so if you didn't already have the spray paint, it probably would have cost around the same as just ordering some online. So I wanted there to be some faux cakes for the party decorations, and since I do decorate cakes for a part-time job, it was in my forte, so I did enjoy doing this. All you have to do is use a cake dummy. I got these from Hobby Lobby, but you can also order them on Amazon. And then this is actually drywall mud, and you can color it with paint. So I used some of the paints from Dollar Tree and some that I already had, and then you use icing bags and some piping tips. And I had already iced the cake. I didn't put that in the video. I have 2 other cakes that I also decorated. They have a lot more detail on them. I wanted to do the Lambeth style cakes because I thought they looked the most festive and like a carnival. In the end of the video, you'll get to see the other cakes, and I feel like they turned out really good. I really enjoy piping all of this, and I loved the way that it all turned out. Here's how I used some of the gold animals that my husband spray painted for me, and here are 2 of the faux cakes. I have another one that you'll see at the end of the video. I wanted some decorations for the popcorn containers that I got at Dollar Tree, so I went on Etsy and they actually had some carnival pastel decorations that I was able to print off, and you're able to go ahead and put in exactly the wording that you want. You can customize it all, and so that's what I'm showing you here. So I customized it, I printed everything off, and then I have a laminator that I've had, honestly, I think I was in 10th grade when I bought this. I got it from Aldi, and I've always loved to laminate different school projects and really anything that I want to keep looking good for a long time. And so I went ahead and laminated all of her stuff and I didn't regret it. It all turned out really good, and I'll be able to sell these in a yard sale or on a Facebook marketplace. And some of the stuff I'm keeping for scrapbooking. I do love to scrapbook too. So here I'm actually working on something that I made in Canva. I had never used Canva before, but I loved it. I did not realize it had a ton of cool free things. I didn't pay for anything. They do have options for paying for things, but I only did the free. So I wanted to make some signs for all of the games that we had, just so that everybody would have rules or know how to set things up. And I loved the way everything turned out. So I had all of the rules that I typed out, and then Canva had different templates. There was the little balloon arches that you can customize to the color of your party. This was the venue. I absolutely loved it. It was only $50 for the entire day, which is a steal, and it was huge. It had a beautiful view, and it already had the tables, so I only had to bring a couple for my food tables. Here is all of the decorations that we had to set out. Thankfully, my in-laws were able to watch our children while me and my husband came early and decorated. We got there at 8 o'clock that morning, and the party started at 1, and honestly, we did decorate until about 12:50, so we just made it. So I got down these tablecloths, and I had gotten them on Amazon. It was a lot cheaper for me to find the colors that I wanted in a pack on Amazon than it was to go to Dollar Tree. They also didn't have all the colors I wanted, and neither did Hobby Lobby. And then I bought the little table runners. They were also off of Amazon. It was a bulk price for, I believe it was $12, and they were a pretty good deal too. Here are the 3 larger popcorn boxes that I decorated, and at the end I will have a close-up of them. I have done parties in the past and blew up balloons the day of, and it takes so much longer than if you just blow the balloons up the night before. As long as you have a way of getting them there, I'd highly recommend that, because it did not take very long to set all of this up. I had 3 different rows of tables, and I had decorations for each different row, and I really liked that. This table had the cotton candy maker and a few of the games, and it also had the bucket that had the prizes that you could win, because I had tickets for each of the game. If you won a game, you earned a certain amount of tickets per game, and you could turn them in for prizes at the end of the party. Now, I loved the looks of this cotton candy maker. I got it online. It was like $40, but I will say I had used it twice, and it worked at home. Sadly, at the party, during the middle of the party, we tried to use it and it did not work. So I'm not sure what happened, if it broke or if the humidity was messing with it, but it did not work for the party. Here I'm decorating the food tables, and I wanted to point out the playground in the background. That was also awesome to have, because kids could run in and out under the shelter, play games, and then play on the playground. The whole place was fenced in, so we didn't have to worry about them running out towards the road. It was a really cool place. I loved it. And then here I was blowing up some props for our photo booth that we had, and I thought that was funny because I didn't have it blown up enough, so it was kind of a limp weight. In the back, you can see I also used a hula hoop and cut out some tulle, and I made a ring of fire. Here, my hubby is showing me how strong he is. I thought this was so funny. I had to put it in the video. Here is the table. I used this little pool thing I got from Dollar Tree to put ice in, and it's meant for drinks, but I put salad stuff in it, and that worked out great. And here is the dessert table. You can see the popcorn tins here where I used them, and I used the little stuff that I bought off of Etsy that I laminated. And here, this has the cookies on it for everybody. Here's a close-up of the decorations and of the large popcorn boxes. I loved the way they turned out. And also, I actually had somebody do the balloon arch for me this year. Normally, I do all of my balloon arches, but I actually was able to trade out some business services for the balloon arch. I made her a couple of cakes, and she made the balloon arch for me. So I loved the way that worked out. That was perfect for me. So these were just some of the games and how we had them set up. I did borrow a couple of the things. The cornhole was not mine, it was my brother's. So he offered to let me use that. Here's a close-up of the dessert table, and you can see the cakes. Those are real cakes that I decorated. They do go along with the theme of the faux cakes, and I loved that. I thought that it did turn out to look very carnival, but pastel carnival. Here's baby girl enjoying her smash cake. Thank y'all for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please give me a like and subscribe, and I will see y'all later.